Well, South Africa's youth unemployment rate in the second quarter of 2022 was sitting at just above 60%. This puts the unemployment rate higher than the national average. Sia Mama of the Assembly of the Unemployed with us now to talk as we count down, Sia, continuing this afternoon to the medium-term budget speech by the Finance Minister, Enoch Godongwana. How high are your expectations?
Tambegile, we've been doing this for a while. We've been campaigning, we've been occupying for a while now. But it seems our cries are falling on deaf ears. But what we do expect, though, because this is a struggle that continues, and this is a struggle that we plan to continue to wage. And today it will be like all the organizations of the working class are saying the same thing. Abandon budget cuts, introduce a basic income grant of 1,500. So we saying let's put an end to austerity. So as the Assembly of the Unemployed today, we're holding different speakouts throughout the country. And the speakout that I'm currently attending now, and what seems to be coming out there is that although yes, we face this problem of unemployment, but when people get to clinics, they are told that they cannot be provided medicine because medicine is out of stock. They would wait for police vans for hours and hours because there are not enough vans. And this is what the organizations of the working class are asking for. Mm-hmm. Stop austerity. And this is what we're expecting today from the Minister of Finance.
Well, government would say that it has no choice but to continue on the austerity path because there simply isn't enough money to go around, even though it is understanding of the pressures that people are facing, especially the poor and unemployed. Do you not believe that's to be true?
No, that can't be true, Tembegile. Why we have a profit shifting in South Africa of 300 billion a year. So what we're saying to government that they must tax the rich, and that's where the money will come from. And I think we've been also saying this, that there's money that sits, by the way, on the government employee pension fund, under 2 trillion of it. So the employers contribute 6% to this money. Workers contribute as well every month 6% to the GEPF. And this is money that is invested to the JSE in companies such as LawnMe, which are highly extractive to workers. So what we're saying is put the money in the economy, fund a basic income grant, fund a reindustrialization where people would be afforded secure jobs. And this is what we've been calling for. Corporate tax. We have sitting, our corporate tax, I think it's sitting at about 28%, which is very, very low. And we're saying tax corporates so that we can get money that could inject the economy. So we do not believe the narrative that there's no money. There is money if you tax the rich.
And where would that go? Because what they are saying, right or wrong, because I know this is controversial, is that, governments across the world say they don't want to tax the rich as much because when you tax the rich as much, that scares away investment. Do you think that the rich would still continue to come here in South Africa, and by the rich I'm referring to the multinationals, for instance, would continue to come here if we tax them further?
So I think that when we need to disabuse ourselves from the narrative, and we need to understand that. So when they talk about investment, what kind of an investment that they're talking about, right? So the investment that they talk about, it's actually a financialized investment. It's not investment that would enact real industrialization. And we don't need that kind of investment, and that's investment that they talk about. The kind of investment that we do need, it's an investment that will fund reindustrialization. And we're currently sitting with a financialized economy, right? So we need to disabuse ourselves from that narrative. Then this is why we're saying this could be state-led. This could be government-led. So if government taxes the rich, and we gain all that 300 billion that the rich are taking away through profit shifting, and the 45 billion, by the way, that could also be got when you tax the rich. That's the money that could be injected into the economy to fund reindustrialization, and this is where people could find jobs. This is where people could get jobs, sustainable jobs in South Africa. And this is the argument that we're putting forward. And we cannot do that, by the way, while you're asking money from IMF. You cannot do that while you're asking money from the World Bank, while you do have money in SA.
Okay.
Because they come back to impose austerity measures.
Let's talk about what you were referring to earlier, that a basic income grant of 1,500 Rand. We know at the moment, at least based on utterances by both the Finance Minister and the President at the opening of Parliament and the main budget in February, that had been extended in terms of the 350 special relief of distress grant, right? Extended for a period of up to next year, early 2023. Unlikely, though, today that we'll hear a concrete commitment to that. Don't you agree?
Yeah. So I think they will definitely stop it, and this is because, by the way, of the decrease in government spending and these budget cuts that we talked about. But then that's also a huge piece, because remember we've had, I think it was last year when we had the serious July unrest, and food prices are continuing to rise. So once you do that, you're putting pressure on your population to find other means to revolt, and it's also helping in agitation. So what we're saying is that yes, stop the SRD, but introduce a permanent basic income grant where everyone would have the ability to spend within the economy, and this is what we need. Why you try to find ways of introducing reindustrialization for permanent jobs, while acknowledging what communities the working class are doing.
Siamama from the Assembly of the Unemployed, a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you.